Yeah, I'm just sitting here texting my friend. I'm talking to him about, let's see, telling him about how I'm going to be doing this video. He asked me if I had any adventures. I told him I haven't really had any adventures of late because I got school to focus on. And we talked about this or that. And he asked me what I'm reading, and I'll show you right now what I'm reading. I just did a system restore, so there's all this weird shit coming up on my computer. And where's that book? Don't you love it when you lose a book? Yeah. I lost it. Okay. Okay, I found the book. It's a dark, scary, occultic book. It's about gnosticism. It's about the tarot. Look to be. I'm in the light. This is the book. And it's pretty chill, sweet book. It's very intensive, but it's teaching me a lot more about the privacy of what I do. But I will forego the rules and talk to you a little bit about that kind of privacy. Kind of basically, I am learning to treat the tarot with respect. That's the first rule, is you gotta respect the tarot in a way that it's not just a game. It's a serious discussion with yourself through a spiritual tool. Things are making noises in the background. It's poltergeist. But basically, I'm learning to utilize this as more than just a tool. Itself, a tool sounds derogatory. To call it a tool is derogatory. But a spiritual tool is. Well, hello, Internet. Today we're going to be talking about my day, and I think it's going to be rather boring. So my plan is to go through, ramble on, discuss this or that, and eventually I will, at the end of the week, today is what, Monday, just go through and edit it all together. So in preparation for that, this will be my intro speech. This has been my week. This has been etc., etc., etc. So here we go. Today is Monday, and today we had print production, interactive media, and Illustrator course, Adobe Illustrator. Now, everything like in print production was a recap of last semester. We didn't really do anything. In Illustrator, I know fairly well, so I worked on my project with a guy in California, which is sort of top secret until like I've officially worked for them. I'm not going to say like who it is. But things are going well with that, except I forgot my jump drive at home. I mean at school somewhere, and I can't really finish it off like I planned to, but it's pretty much done. Now here we get to the good crumb of it. The crumb. Interactive media. Now we had print production and nothing interested me. It was just a recap. And then you had Illustrator, which was learning the pen tool, which I know how to use. But interactive media, the teacher, he started talking about theories and about how information is processed by the human being, that's us. And it really engaged me, this discussing all this kind of stuff about how a user approaches an interface, and they're not going to use it how we think they're going to use it, and that's where the research end comes into it. We did a class trip to a user interface, a user experience design studio, amongst other studios, and we learned about how like they watch people, film people using interface devices. And the quote we started the day off today in interactive design was, what was it? The 18th century, the 19th century was defined by the novel. The 20th century was defined by the cinema. The 21st century is going to be defined by the interface. Now this is where I want you guys to basically chime in is, are we heading downhill and being part of this information age where we're glued to a screen and information can just come to you any way you want? Are we getting smarter, or are we becoming way too reliant on technology to the point that we have no memory? We just rely on computerized memory for understanding events and stuff. Like, I think we're getting smarter in understanding the gist of things, but when you're trying to articulate certain points or write an essay or make a case for something, you cannot do that with the gist of an idea. You have to understand the ins and outs. And are we falling out of love with knowledge if knowledge can just be accessed freely? Knowledge should be sacred. So, and how trustworthy is the random knowledge on the internet? So our homework for the assignment for interactive media was to problem solve, to go throughout our days and look for problems that we can solve, and we want to try and figure out solving ideas that we can solve, figure out how to solve ideas using technology like apps or websites or anything that's technology based, like new technology based. Like, to me, a pair of scissors is technology, a club is technology, but we're talking about advanced would sound derogatory in relation to that stuff, saying, oh, look, it's advanced. It's just another form of technology. So that really engaged me today. I was really interested in it. But as we discussed things, I became more and more hostile to this idea of we are the problem solvers and we go out and design things to not have problems when I don't know how to say this because I meant to write it all down so I could articulate well, but I'm more and more becoming anti-technology. Even though I'm sitting here on a webcam and I've got a Twitter account now and I'm totally up in this business, I miss the only thing that I find redeeming about technology is that we can use it for good, but arguments of how it can be used do not define technology. Technology really is just maybe the moral issue isn't in technology itself, but how reliant on it we're becoming and how much control is over the media. Because as apps come out, there's a filtered system. You can't really download anything on an iPad. You can steal books and stuff off sites that offer free books, I guess. But you can't go download a bunch of MP3s, you have to go through iTunes. Same with movies, you have to go through iTunes. And as technology starts encroaching on our personal freedoms, and the more that I interact with the internet, the more I become known as an entity that is marketable, that's become a demographic, that I'm to be a consumer, that I'm just another number, and what they sell you on the internet is a unique identity, but all you're doing is categorizing yourselves for becoming some sort of demographic where you're not unique. You're just the group of unique people that get sold really unique items, and that's what's funny about counterculture is it pushes consumerism in a strange way, even though it seems to be counterculture. I read a book about this, and people like things not because of the thing itself, but because of others not having that thing sometimes. A BMW would be worthless if everybody had a BMW. Now, I'm not into like communism where we all drive the same fucking car or eat the same fucking potatoes or whatever the hell communists do. Like, I do have greed in me and desire, but I think we got to be careful as we move into this 21st century and relying on technology that there is some balance, and we go back to hunting through bookstores for knowledge. We go back to going to the library. We go back to listening to records and searching out music and producing zines instead of just blogging. So I think I've raised some questions in this video, so I think I'm just going to post this tomorrow, and I hope I get some response, but I probably won't. But whatever, have a good day. To me, the tarot's been a mirror unto myself. It's never been a device to tell the future, but or to speak with spirits, but it's been a tool to talk to my inner deeper self. And well, this book says it goes beyond what I did call it. I called it a mirror, right? The book calls it a mirror. And it says it goes far beyond that, and I would interpret things as saying that to call the tarot a spiritual tool, a tool is a derogatory statement. So I'll try and describe different scenarios. You're usually under the pretense of asking a certain question, leaving an inquiry. However, sometimes I have no question or inquiry, and I'll have my entire life situation laid out on the table from which I can look at my life in hindsight and objectively, from which I can take reprimands, I can take precautions, from which I can take even fucking praise. But no, it's not an ego trip. It's my last reading really struck home. I got a lot of inverse cards, upside down cards, and either the The reading was supposed to be over. Basically, I was being scolded for nearly going stagnant in my spiritual walk, holding on to the success of last month. To not be ready to adapt to this month's situation. It's pretty interesting. But what can be pulled from your subconscious mind, filtered through symbols, it almost becomes sentient. And it's like you're having one of those conversations where time stops and you're engaged and your mind is enthralled. One of those.